Stop believing everything that comes to mind. What you feel is real, but it is often fragments of the picture, leading to misunderstandings. You can feel unwanted while being wanted. You can feel unsafe while being in no actual true danger. You can even feel helpless when support is right in front of you. This means how you feel and view a situation is not inherently a fact. Are you able to spot the difference? Most people cannot when it comes to their own lives, as it was never taught to them. This is not a case of irrational thinking, rather a result of learning that inner feelings must equate to the accuracy of what reality is. Such framework leads to getting stuck when internal resistance pops up and even spiraling from the weight that is implied in their own ideas, once again because if I feel it, it must be true. Often this leads up to a larger pileup as the individual doesn't know how to process nor digest these heavy narratives. Unable to face the very conclusions that they feed themselves, it just backpiles. You might recognize this pattern after you get a text from a friend. A simple message, how's work going? One moment you're well, the next moment you're spiraling over your worth, your money, and your ability to live the life that you want. Unlike what most people assume, it is not being dramatic. It's showing you what you think deep down about the circumstance at hand, or associated. For your system, this is not exaggerated at all. It's a totally fit response to the understanding of the situation for you. But what stops this occurrence from piling up and affecting the rest of your day, week, to even the rest of your life moving forward is presence. Presence allows information to form integrated connections in your nervous system, that being through memory, sensations, and emotions. As a byproduct within the nervous system, it builds a unified structure to operate on and base decisions off of, where all of yourself is able to be on the same page. Without presence, people can accumulate and carry a fragmented sense of self. This looks like being stuck in old versions of themselves, past circumstances and narratives. Sometimes this can show up subtly, noticing you feel exactly how you did in a past situation. Other times it's a full slap in the face, reliving an old circumstance or narrative almost to a T. But what is really occurring in these intense moments is that the past story resurfaces with an opportunistic moment. One, allowing you to see what your subconscious has been treating as true and providing you the choice to continue accepting it or to question it. This practice has two parts. First, presence. Take a movie perspective to fully feel the narrative without merging it as a fact. That's the first step. And second, label everything as neutral, meaning it's not real until proven otherwise. This lets you feel everything without the extra weight of what the consequences might come with it if it were true. Now, when you're faced with reality, there will be some days that are easier than others. Sometimes it will get to the point that you can't even count how many things sent you spiraling. In those times, it makes it understandable, easy even, to feel overwhelmed or helpless when we are faced with especially the hard days. Where these times, all we have is a pileup of things we don't have resolution to. For that reason, when we start the journey of creating resolution, we want to avoid these three stressors that will turn this time into a genuine despair. First to avoid is treating your feelings and narratives as facts instead of information to assess. Second is splitting your attention instead of giving your full focus to an individual issue, or worse, not giving any focus to the issue before moving on. And third is being unable to face the worst case scenario. We know that treating a reaction as true without further assessment risks the gamble of it being accurate or not. And when it comes to splitting attention, it is also recognized that we can't properly assess something when we're looking at unrelated factors. This also covers why diverting our attention completely from the issue, aka denial, does not work either. It never gets rid of the issue. It just lets it rot in the corner. So the biggest thing we are faced with is the idea that we cannot handle the worst case scenario. This leads to some of the most emotional avoidance you'll encounter, all stemming from the belief that if the worst is true, it will be unrecoverable, that one's needs will never be met again, and life is essentially ruined. That is the lie, though. There will always be a solution, even if it doesn't always look how you expect. So, we have to be honest with ourselves, facing that avoidance and denial doesn't get rid of what's wrong. It doesn't magically just fix it. That part takes our conscious effort. Just like bodybuilding. Let's say you have skinny arms, but you want them bigger, more sculpted. How do you get there? Do you ignore reality and your body, hoping that what you want will just appear? Or do you acknowledge where you're at, seeing the work that is necessary to get to where you want to be, and actually putting in that work? Growth requires honestly admitting where you are, acknowledging all that brought you to this moment, including your mistakes and where you see yourself to have fallen short. And so, for most of you, this thing you're avoiding isn't your arms. It's an idea, a feeling, a belief, something that's limiting you. But you want to know why it's okay to fall short? Because every time you fail or make a mistake, you are being shown a piece that you have yet to access, information you've yet to understand. And because it provides you information, a new perspective you have not considered yet, you grow from this. You know better. And the same logic can be applied to the example regarding a text from a friend. Instantly, you can remind yourself, this feeling and thought, it's not true until I prove that it is. Even in the worst case scenario, I can face and overcome it. From here, it might look like providing instant presence to the issue, if you have that time and space. But you can also really feel into your emotions, thoughts, and feelings, see what they are saying. For this text scenario, you might notice a tightness in your chest, a racing mind, a jittering feeling. And by feeling it out, just like a movie, you will continue the neutral labeling while interacting with your sensations. From here, you'll trace the root, which may reveal personal narratives that you're uncertain about your own self-worth. As thoughts arise, you may see yourself questioning if you can have what you want, if you're valuable enough or worthy enough. Exploring those feelings, you might figure out that these stem from ideas you picked up from parents, society, or personal conclusions that you came to after an occurrence in your life. And through identifying the beliefs, such as self-worth issues and its roots, you're able to see where the narrative stems from and begin to question its validity. This may look like consciously naming your valuable traits or setting up plans to build up certain attributes that will support your confidence and help how you view yourself. Again, like that bodybuilding and mistakes thing. By facing it head on, you don't let it become something bigger than what it is. You, once again, integrate this practice as a habit, and by doing this, you know it's only uncomfortable until it's not, which means it's most practical to directly face an issue when circumstances allow it. That said, what do you do when triggers start to pile up and you can't go and stop everything to go digest your mind's narrative? Where you're stuck in meetings or class and you're left with a backlog of horrible assumptions. It is in these moments you're going to need to apply everything that we've learned today so far. First, you're going to want to check off the list of the 3 biggest issues that can make this horribly 10 times worse. By solidifying that everything you're facing is simply information until assessed, you remove the truth factor. Next, you address that even if the worst is true, you can overcome it and apply a solution. Lastly, you're going to completely direct your focus away from these triggers and all of the issues at hand, putting in a marker to come back later. You're going to do this by practicing presence. Complete presence given to the situation at hand that needs your attention currently, be it work or whatever that is. This will be encouraged by the attitude of trust you have for yourself when it comes to regarding what is unfolding. From here, you will focus on your present moment until you have the opportunity to reflect on what is going on, which you will then address the triggers one by one. So whether it's one wave or 10 stacking up, the practice stays the same no matter what. Feel it immediately when you can, neutralize it, holding back any assigned truth and any of that until assessed properly, and trust that resolution is already present. You're just unboxing that resolution with your mind. It'll be a habitual practice that turns those moments of uncomfortability into times that you are most confident in. As of course, it's only uncomfortable until it's not. Thank you for joining in today, and if you want personalized work or support going through these overwhelming times, contact my email, lunashealinglounge@gmail.com, also found in the description. And for those of you who have been watching the channel, the scheduled video for identifying and correcting counterfeit safety is still up next, though it was briefly interrupted with something I found to be most important for this time. Take care, much love, and until next time, bye.